Coming up on Science News.
Matthew, start your engine!
He powers up your brain. Here's Mr. Matthews. All right, thank you for that wonderful and revving introduction. All right, so today we're going to really kind of shift gears a little bit and kind of talk about some things that every single one of us come in contact with daily. And those are discoveries that lead to new technologies. So let's take a look at this. It's going to be pretty fun. All right. So just a reminder before we get started, tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. I'm doing a drawing of students who have commented on all teacher videos this week. We'll be doing a drawing, not sure what time yet, but be on the lookout for that little alert. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and that'll be tomorrow, Friday, May the 1st, for a student who has commented on all teacher videos this week. So you still have some time because it won't be until tomorrow, so make sure to make good, thorough comments on all teacher videos. All right, the standard we're going to be talking about today is 5 ETS 2.3. I can identify how scientific discoveries lead to new and improved technologies. And our essential question, how do investigations change how people live? How do investigations change how people live? We're going to be going through today some pictures of some examples of technology that have really changed how people live. They've changed how you and I live. So as we go through these, there's really kind of two main categories that we're going to be talking about. Before we dive into the pictures, let's take a look at just a kind of kid-friendly version of technology and a description and a definition. Technology really is just when you use science knowledge for daily use, or when you use scientific methods or scientific processes for daily use, oftentimes to better your daily life. And so really we're going to be talking about some old, different types of technologies, as well as your exit ticket will be some type of new technology. Now there's a reason I have a mirror here, and a mirror shows a reflection, and in that reflection is you. Why? Because you're the future. So you're going to be tasked with coming up with some type of new technology one of these days when you become a little bit older, or even now. All right, let's look at our first old technology, if you will. Now, a lot of these, and all of these actually, old technologies we still use today. And here's a nice, cool link that has some other different type of technologies that we use on a daily basis. The first one here, what do you call this? Yeah, obviously, it's a wheel. And as you've seen, these are wheels that we know of today. But even a long time ago, we had all different kind of wheels. Most of them were made out of stone in the beginning. And they really changed how people traveled and were able to carry things from one place to another. All right, let's take a look at this one. See if you know what this is. Who said that's a spoon? Well, okay, I could see how you'd think a spoon. Any other guesses? Okay. Let me show you a more recent example. What about that? That's got some more clues on it. It's got some numbers. Looks like some abbreviations. S-E-N-E. What do you think this is called? You're right, a compass. This is a compass. And the compass was really first invented by the Chinese between the 9th and 11th century. That is a long time ago. And a compass compasses really have changed how people travel and how people immigrate to places and how people trade with each other. Because before the use of a compass, people didn't really know where to go, but a compass really guided them different directions, and that helped explorers like Christopher Columbus travel the oceans and know which direction. And that also helped geographers and cartographers, map makers, really be able to know where continents were and where oceans were and boundaries and directions and stuff. All right, let's look at this next one. I bet you won't get this next one. Let's see. What does that look like? Okay. Let me give you another kind of more modern day example. All right. What do you think this one's called? Does anybody know what this one's called here? If you said printing press, you are correct. This is kind of one of the very first printers that we know of. Nowadays, we're even going into 3D printing. So we've really come a long way. And the first printing press was invented and created by Johann Gutenberg around 1440. 1440, that is a long time ago. But it really changed how people got communication out. Newspapers were able to be published even faster because you could really print more and more copies to really allow the public to be informed about different things that went on. All right, this one here, most of us know what this is. You saw an example of this being used in the intro video, and this is obviously a what? Yes, this is an engine, and this is an example of combustion engines. And combustion engines really take chemical energy, which we've talked about in previous videos, kind of like chemical changes, chemical energies into mechanical work. So they really allow for axles to turn and engines to really rev up through the use of different chemical energies. Really, really cool. All right. And obviously the telephone, even most of these would be outdated compared to some that we have nowadays. And this is probably this is the phone I grew up with right here in middle school and high school. It was an Nokia phone. We used to play a game called Snake on it. It was pretty cool. I don't even know if they have that now. But this is really the first drawing of a telephone done by Alexander Graham Bell. He was the very first one given a patent for it back in 1876. And another cool fact about this is that Alexander Graham Bell and his invention of a telephone really changed the landscape of the entire world. Because before then, you'd have to write each other, and you depended on the mail. But a cool fact is that when Alexander Graham Bell passed away on August the 2nd, 1922, the U.S. telephone service stopped for exactly 1 minute to honor him. So nobody can make any phone calls. The entire service was stopped for a minute to honor him. Pretty cool. Another invention that led to a wonderful, wonderful example of how not only Americans but people across the world are able to communicate with each other. Ah, that was bright. Did y'all see that? Let me do that again. Dang. Woo, that's bright. All right, here we have the light bulb. And the light bulb, I can't say enough about all of these great inventions, but the light bulb really allowed us to be, it changed our lives. It changed the lives of people all over the world because it allowed us to be more active at night. It changed sleep patterns. It changed working hours. And Thomas Edison is credited as the primary or main inventor back in 1879. This is a example of the very first light bulb. And of course, nowadays we have the incandescent bulbs, LED bulbs, all kind of bulbs like you see in the classrooms. You know, those real long ones. So really, a slew of different types of light bulbs are derived or came from this very first invention back in 1879. All right. Now here is one that you are using right now. I guarantee it, you're using it right now. Can you take a guess as what it is? All right, let's see if you're right. The internet. massive, massive amounts um, of credit given to those who assisted with the creation and the invention of the internet. It really is a global system, and the term global just means it's used around the world. So it's a global system used by billions of people. You think about all the people on the earth, billions of people use the internet daily. And the person most credited for the invention and creation of the internet is a computer scientist named Lawrence Roberts. Lawrence Roberts. Pretty cool. All right. So, for your exit ticket, I wanted to give you some examples of different discoveries that have led to really life-changing inventions so I can kind of see what you think. Which of the technology discoveries that we talked about today, and feel free to go back in the video and watch some of them and use the link also and do your own research. But which of the technology discoveries that we talked about today do you think is the most important and why? So going back to the internet, to the light bulb, to the telephone, to the engine, to the printing press, to the compass. Which of those do you think and would you label as the most important and why? Make sure you answer the why. I want to know which one you think is the most important and why you think it's the most important. The second question I want you to answer. If you recall earlier in the video, I showed a picture of a mirror and I said that you're the future. We're depending on you to make new discoveries and new technologies that can even improve life. So what discovery and technology do you want to come up with? And how will it make life easier? So now it's on you. What can you come up with? What are some ideas that you have that you think would make life easier? And how would they make life easier? What would you name it? All right, make sure to leave your comments below. We love you. We miss you. Hope you and your family are doing well. And check you later.